Righty, give people a moment to log on. Morning, everyone. Just give it one moment before we start the webinar to ensure everyone. All righty, looks like all of our attendees here. Now, good morning, everyone. Hello and happy Tuesday. My name is Natalie Layton. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Long Beach Area Chamber. We have a wonderful presentation for you today, and we're excited to kick off the annual Small Business Resiliency Series with today's webinar featuring our longtime member, and Bryson. Before we get into the program, I do have some brief housekeeping I'd like to go over. First and foremost, please note that this webinar is being recorded. This will be sent out to all of our attendees as well as made available on the Chamber's YouTube channel as well. If you have any questions like ask our presenter, Trent, please share them either in the chat or in the Q&A bottom of the screen, as well as you can also utilize the raise your hand function if you prefer. Before we get into the presentation, I would like to take a moment to recognize our sponsors of our Resiliency series. So if you bear with me, I'd like to read them off. First and foremost, we have Storage, Southern California Edison, Dignity Health St. Mary Medical Center, Charter Kitchens, thank you, the Port of Long Beach, Denso, P2S, City, Moffatt Nichol, Westin Hotel, and Valero Energy. Now let's get into the program. Joining us today is Trent Bryson. He's the CEO of Bryson here in Long Beach. He was established success as a head of one of the Southern California's leading insurance brokerage and retirement firms. Having rejoined Bryson in 2001, Trent has led their team to new heights, and we're excited to have him with us today to talk about the member exclusive to Chamber members, their 401k multiple employer plan. So Trent.
Thanks so much, Natalie. I appreciate the introduction and appreciate being part of it, and good to be back. A lot of people are asking, what is a multiple employer plan? 401k changed pretty dramatically a couple years ago, specifically for small businesses in the state of California, when Gavin Newsom and the government changed it to CalSavers, where it was mandated that you had to have a retirement plan. But the reality is a lot of businesses were struggling with just the liability, the efficiency of 401k plans long before that. And so what this new bill created was a path to what we call multiple employer plan. The short for that would be MEP. A MEP is a retirement plan that have a common interest, that are not commonly owned or affiliated. Your common interest is, my common interest is the Chamber of Commerce of Long Beach. So they've graciously offered to sponsor this, and therefore we now have a plan that everybody that's a member of the Chamber of Commerce can join. With that, we are taking advantage of a few things. One, economies of scale, and two, the ability to put a plan in place that is treated and acted like a major size plan, so our fees are lower. And as we go into it on the next slide, you're going to see kind of what that looks like. So the benefits are cost savings compared to operating a single plan. Setting up a plan, setting up the payroll, setting up match scenarios, all those types of things as a startup plan can be costly. A lot of the payroll providers, specifically ADP and Paychex, will try to sell it to you, but then a lot of times they make the sale and walk away. And so what we're trying to do is not only put it in because it's a requirement, but put it in and let you as an employer own this process and take advantage of the benefits it has to attract and recruit quality employees. Also inside the MEP is fiduciary and administrative support. So everything from the communication of the benefits to the fiduciary support is included in this and taken off your hands. There's very little plan maintenance, which some of the old plans had. And then what's really critical here is customizable 401k plan design. So just because one person has a match doesn't mean you have to have a match, or you could have a safe harbor while another employer has a profit sharing match. There's so many ways to take this plan and make it work for your company. So it's not like throwing everything into one size fits all. It's taking advantage of the MEP qualities at the same time having customizable to your company. And then audit costs for those employers that are above 100 employees, it really reduces the audit costs because everybody's sharing in those audit costs. So on the next page, you're going to see what that administration is. What it really does, it allows, like I said, everything from when somebody's eligible to become into a plan, when somebody's eligible to be in a match, when somebody's vested on those match percentages, and allows everybody to come into that plan and have that different type of plan design that meets them. On the next page, you're going to see who the different parties are in this. So Bryson, your local 401k advisor, this is what we do. We have over $1.5 billion assets under management, over 150 plans. We are the retirement plan advisor. We're also your fiduciaries. So we're the ones that are going to help you choose your funds, educate your employees in terms of why they want to be in a 401k plan, where to invest in the 401k plan, and any basic financial planning questions they have along the way. Transamerica is the record keeper. The record keeper, in the most simple sense, is where the statements come from. That's where the money is held and invested, and they're a well-known international company that they hold the assets, and they're the ones that are investing it in the mutual funds. Benefit Equity is a local third-party administrator out of Orange County, and their job is to help us with the government filings. And then NPPG is they're the ones that are sending out all the mandatory notices that we have to do. In a 401k, it's truly the employee's money. And so the government wants to make sure that that money stays protected. And there's a lot of notices that come around that. So these 4 different parties are coming together as one consolidated MEP provider and saying, here's how we're going to make sure that you're taken care of. What is our main job? We're the relationship manager for chamber and chamber members. We're local. We can come out. We can do Zoom meetings. Our team provides education enrollment meetings in English and Spanish for chamber members and their employees. We'll do the investment reviews and compliance guidelines, but what really is critical there is a lot of the plan design too, of understanding what your company needs and wants in their employee workforce and how we can help you get there, leveraging the 401k plan. And that goes even into the communication of what your goals are, so that everybody in your entire company is aligned. And then there's a 401k portion that we can use to leverage that communication. We'll also remove any of the fiduciary issues by taking that off your plate. And then with BI in Transamerica, that kind of marketing and education materials going out to your employees as well. Some of the awards we've won, just to give you a little bit about us: 401k Wire, 300 most influential advisors. We were lucky enough to be the Entrepreneur of the Year for the Chamber, Plan Advisor many times, top 100 advisors in the country. Same with Financial Times. Been in this business for a long time and will continue to be invested in this. Transamerica, you probably heard or you've seen the building. That's why they have it on their logo. They're known as the record keeper. So that's where the contributions are held. The money comes out of your participants' paychecks. It goes to Transamerica, and they are choosing where they're not choosing. They're putting it into the investments that we decide on their behalf. Anytime you want to go on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can see where the assets are in the plan, how they're performing, and what's happening. They also produce the participant statements. Benefit Equity helps prepare and maintain the plan documents. Also, with those plan documents, they change from time to time as your needs change. So you may have a type of plan that doesn't have any mandatory match. Your match may be at the end of the year based on profits. But to be more competitive, you may want to declare a match, so you can put that in your offer letters. That's what we call an amendment. We simply change that, update that based on, or it could be the other way if you're going through tough times. They will help create all the compliance testing on an annual basis, prepare your annual filings, and then also support us on any plan design that comes up. NPPG is somebody you probably won't deal with a whole lot. Their whole job is just to make sure that you don't have to spend a bunch of time sending out paperwork to all of your employees. So they're going to do all the required disclosures and reporting. Now we get into the pricing a little bit. Where I think one of the big powers of this is when you are generally starting up a plan, it can be really expensive. And then as you get larger, you're going to see it gets a lot less expensive. So what we're trying to do is we're leveraging the large plan pricing for everybody to be into this. So this goes your all in contract charges. But what's really important here, if I look at it, is those third-party administrator fees. Your installation is about $500. And that's a tax credit, so it's not a deduction, it's a credit, so it's even better for the first 3 years of the plan. And then you'll see a base of $800, and then the rest are based on annual participants. The main one is $30, so think of it in terms of 800 plus $30 per participant. That's not per eligible, that's for those that are actually in the plan, and that's on an annual basis. Again, the first 3 years, there's a tax credit, and the rest is deductible. Cal Savers, some people say, well, why wouldn't we? I just want to put in a Cal Savers plan. The contribution limits are about $6,000, not about, whereas the IRS contribution limits for 401k are 20,500, now 21,000. Matching contributions you can't do in Cal Savers. It's nice for us to be able to say, dear employees, we are trying to meet these goals. And so if we can meet those goals, we can back into what we're going to do in terms of a matching contribution. So the 401k gives you a lot more flexibility there. And then our financial advisors there to support you as a business owner and the team, create vesting requirements. So for example, if you say we're going to put in a match, but you have to stay here for an entire 3 years to get any of that match, a lot of times it costs a lot of money to bring an employee in, recruit that employee, train the employee, get them up to speed. You don't want to start to put money away for them and then they leave right away. So in this case, they wouldn't get to keep that money for 3 years. So you get to ensure your investment, if you will. And then the administrative tasks, you still have the same administrative tasks with Cal Savers as with the 401k. It's just we believe it's more efficient because you have support here versus you going online and doing it yourself. You'll see now businesses, any business over 5 employees has a mandate that they have to be at least some sort of 401k plan or filing with Cal Savers. If you have a qualified plan, the 401k, 403b, qualified pension, SEP, simple, we could support you on all this. Just if you have any questions around it, the last thing you want to do is get hit with a penalty 3 years later because it wasn't in place. Next steps, I try to keep it simple today. If you're ready to explore that more, I would say an introductory call, either emailing us or setting up. It doesn't cost anything for an introductory call. Where our clients have leveraged us the most is not just setting up a 401k plan, but making it work for your specific company. Those clients that already have 401ks in place say, hey, I have this plan, but how do we make it better? How do we make it specific to our company? There are things like putting in big contributions for the business owners. And I just did one for a small company where the business owner was able to put in up to $240,000 a year in terms of a contribution. You could do it as a completely voluntary basis. Every company is going through a different spot in their business cycle, and that's where we can really help plan this out. And then the other part of it is bring this into the rest of your benefits. So not only your 401k, but where your 401k meets your health insurance, your property and casualty, and how that all comes together as one full package together. And then how you distribute that and educate your employees and your recruits on that. Existing plans, we basically take all of your data, we benchmark them, and we'll give you a full comparison of where you are today versus where you would be on a go-forward basis for free. What we would do is we take all of that information, we put it next to other companies in your size, other companies in your industry, and then we look at any possible holes that are in your plan and see how we can improve it. But mainly the goal is how we align your 401k plan with your company goals and make it work for you versus just being an administrative burden. Anything on that map? I think that the one big thing is you do have to be a member of the chamber. So if you're not a member of the chamber today, I would talk to Natalie about joining the chamber to be a part of this. But any chamber members are eligible. Doesn't matter how big or how small you are. What's nice about it is each specific plan is their own plan. within this MEP plan. So we could support from any part of that once you're a member. Easiest reach out points are Megan, Megan at BrysonFinancial.com, and then Natalie Layton, and Layton at lbchamber.com, or the phone numbers that are attached to set up a call or to email, set up a Zoom. We're happy to meet with you in person or via Zoom. Natalie, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Trent, so much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A. We come through, so we'll be able to take them over the next few minutes. But while I have you, Trent, the first question is there a deadline to sign up for the MEP?
There's not a deadline to sign up for the MEP. You can do it at any time. There are very glaring statistics that show that the longer you wait from this call, the more you end up not doing it. So I would say at least reach out and set up a meeting. But as we get closer to 10/1, it becomes harder to set up a plan for 2024 if you want tax deductions. So kind of the key there is, I would say by August 1, I would be in the process of setting up this plan. If you're talking about for next year, whatever that may be, then that's fine.
Great. So the sooner the better, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then the second question, does Bryson and or their partners provide support for clients using the MEP year round?
Could you say that again?
Does Bryson and or your partners provide support for clients using the MEP year round?
Yes. It can be anytime, and we're generally working with our clients on a quarterly basis. So it's not just putting it in and forgetting about it. It's us putting it in and supporting you throughout the time, usually on a quarterly or semi-annual or annual basis based on the cadence that you want to discuss it.
Wonderful. Well, that looks like all the questions that we have. Much, Trent, and to the Bryson team for allowing us to continue this partnership. If Trent said, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Megan. Help get you onboarded to this wonderful program. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you all.